But it was still, really awesome or whatever. Or whatever. Just imagine a little head shake or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. But the game was really fun. I got all my Pokemon leveled up. I didn't have I leveled up some of my Pokemon too quickly, and then they didn't learn any moves. And I wanted to use the Simisear, like fire monkey Pokemon, but he's actually kind of terrible. When I should have used like the Tan or something like that. That's not. I always think it's the Tan, but I don't think that's actually what it is. But whatever. It was still fun. Played a lot of that. Hung out by the beach. Hung out with my dog. My dog he would just hop up on the couch and just kind of sleep there for a bit. Oh, I had lots of Reese's Puffs. That was good. What else did I do? I just kind of hung out. I listened to some podcasts. That was pretty much it. And then, we watched some movies because before we went left for the trip, we went to the library and just took all the good movies. It was 35 movies. I got a Shark Week one. It was really awesome. It wasn't just 35 movies for me. I have to keep scratching my nose because it feels like there's some fur or hair on it or something like that. So if you've heard that throughout the video, I'm pretty sure I've cut it now. So maybe you can go back and watch the last video again, realize how much I've been scratching my nose to remove this itchy hair off of it. Sounds weirder than it actually is, I think. I'm gonna try this technique. Alright, maybe that worked. Moving on. So we watched movies. I watched Yes Man, which is actually a pretty good movie. I watched X-Men Wolverine, which was good, but it was kind of weird. I didn't really know what to expect. And then the last night, was it the last night? One of the nights, there was a massive thunderstorm where it was a 3-hour long thunderstorm. It's a 3-hour long storm, okay, whatever. But this was constant thunder and constant lightning, and oh my gosh, it was absolutely insane. And wow, I didn't really realize how much of a pause I have here. Alright, I have a pause here for about 35 minutes, 20 minutes or so. Okay, I will do some editing magic maybe with that. Maybe not. We shall see. You guys already know what happened. Haha, all the commentators say that when they don't know what to say. Okay, you're gonna keep rambling on. Not the best commentary, but whatever. Maybe I'll just keep it like this, because who cares? It's just about, you're not actually watching the gameplay, are you? You can still see some colors moving, maybe. The render times will be faster. I don't know. So the last night, or whatever night it was, massive thunderstorm, constant thunder, constant lightning. It lit up the whole mountain and lake or whatever. And it was crazy. It was awesome. Apparently the power was supposed to go out, because anything like that, power automatically goes out because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Not really the middle of nowhere, because but you know what I mean, 'cause it's on a lake or whatever. And it's a popular lake. I don't know. But it was just crazy to see, because I went to sleep and then I woke up and the thunderstorm was still going on. And it was just insane. And then the last day, my mom left to go take my dog to the boarding place and then do some shopping for staying with the rest of my family, not all my cousins, but my cousins on my mom's side and grandparents and all that jazz. And so I'm like, I'll just stay here. I don't really need to drive, 3 hours, or 1.5 hours down, 1.5 hours back up. I'll just, hang out here, and do whatever. And so I played some Pokemon, did some reading. And then about 1:30, I heard someone open the door. I'm like, is my mom back? This is weird. I wasn't really scared. I was just kind of like, this is going to be interesting. What's going on? And it was actually my aunt and uncle who owned the cabin, and they were going to stay at the cabin for the rest of the weekend, because it was a Saturday, I guess. And so I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, you're still here. I'm like, yeah, my mom went back there to, do that. And they're like, oh, good, you stayed, blah, blah, blah. And I was just kind of like, whoa, this is, strange, but it was all good. And then I, did some reading. And then I went down to the dock because my grandpa was gonna pick me up. I didn't really know what time he was gonna pick me up, but I was like, I'll just wait down there because it doesn't really matter. And I played some Pokemon. That's when I beat the game, and then I did some reading, listened to some podcasts. And then I saw my grandpa pick me up, and then I helped well, now we're at the resort, and I saw my dad and sister, and then my cousin Clay, or Supernova OSX, and his mom arrived, and then saw my grandparents, who I'd seen a few days ago, and then helped my dad get the boat in the water. I actually drove the car, and it was weird because like my dad's like, oh, you want to help me get the boat in the water or whatever, and so I'm like, sure, I'll drive the car or whatever, but I don't have my license or whatever. Gosh, I've been saying that too much. Every commentary, it seems like there's a some phrase you'll say way too often, but oh well. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll help. So I'm driving the car. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. My dad kind of set it up for me, and so I kind of just back it in until like the trailer is submerged good enough. But my grandpa was kind of giving me some, like, telling me how much farther to go. And then I was like kind of looking at one mirror, and then I'm like, oh, I can look at my other mirror because I couldn't see anything there. And it's just kind of like that weird thing because I don't usually drive. I've driven around our strait a few times, but I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly confident I could drive on a road and not be suspicious, but I'm not like officially trained to drive. I'll be doing that in the fall. And so that was interesting because I drive it in there, and then my dad's like pushes it off, and then to get the trailer back up, it's kind of, you have to give it some gas or whatever. And so they don't teach you in the driving school to put both feet on the pedal, but that's kind of how you're supposed to do it, or that's how you do it effectively. So you kind of ease off the brake as you push the gas in, and then it was kind of the wheels were kind of spinning or whatever. I was kind of gonna release it because I'm like, that doesn't sound good, but my grandpa's like, keep it going, keep going, keep going. And so I like kind of press down, and then it goes, and it kind of pulls out, and I steer it out of there, and it was all good. So that was fun. That day we just kind of hung around. The first day it's kind of like you haven't seen these people in like 6 months or whatever, so it's kind of like, hey, how's it going? You're not really messing around as much, but still a fun time. And so just kind of hung out, did all that. Nothing that significant happened. I don't think. That we saw I think like on Sunday is when most people come in. We came in on Saturday, and so there were some different characters that came in and out or whatever. And then went to sleep Sunday. I don't think the weather was all that great, so we just kind of hung out. Maybe we hopped in the water at the end of the day because then it brightened up. Monday I tried wakeboarding for the first time because I wasn't sure how my toe was gonna hold up. Oh, because I've hurt my toe. This whole time when I went swimming, I had to put this boot on where you have to like vacuum the air out of it, and I had to put like a bag under that because it's meant for a cast, so it's not all that tight. And so that was interesting. But then by the end of the trip, I didn't have to use that. I could just kind of duct tape it, and it was good enough. My toe's healing pretty good now, but I don't think it's. I'm kind of concerned that I'm gonna have like a bigger nail line or something like that, because I think it seems like it stopped healing. Like it's still healing, but on like certain parts, it seems like it's stopped healing. Maybe it'll figure itself out, but who knows? So that was kind of annoying having to pump my boot up, but it feels kind of weird or whatever. Or whatever. Every time I say it, I just want to like make fun of myself, or whatever. Gosh, I've been going too long. I just got done playing Ultimate Frisbee, so I'm pretty tired and parched and still talking. But I don't know how much longer this is gonna go, so I'll keep going on. Let's see what else we did. Oh, so I wakeboarded. So I was like, okay, I'll try getting my feet in the wakeboard. We'll see how it goes. And kind of went in. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Cause I kind of had like, oh, maybe if I don't want to do it, I'll just use my leg as an excuse or whatever. But I'm like, what the heck? I'm just gonna try it. Nothing bad's gonna happen. So I try it, and it took me like 3, 4, or 5 times to get it kind of figured out. Cause I'm kind of like, I've water skied before, but I'm hanging on because I snowboarded, so I'm like, okay, I should be able to get this. But it's just kind of the weird feeling of pulling yourself up and then twisting your leg over. And so one time I got it, and I was kind of bouncing on the ground, like I didn't pull myself up all the way. and then I fell off. And the next time I got it even more, and then by that the next time I was, well, I had been cut across the wake, and then